With just 4 days until Election Day, the Tuning Out Decision Desk forecast at 5:38 is showing that Biden wins in 89 out of 100 scenarios. That means it will be about 8 times more disappointing when Trump wins.
It also means that there are 89 out of 100 scenarios that end in Joe Biden bending down in the Oval Office to let a small child with male pattern baldness touch his head. Aww.
That is going to be so meaningful. Now, Baratunde, this election is obviously unlike any other in history in that it's uniquely dumb. So can we believe pollsters on the state of the race?
No, the only polls that I care about are the election polls and the results of those. And I think, the Nate Silver thing and the idea of trying to forecast this, I don't see the point for the general public. It overexcites or terrifies or gives people a sense of too much confidence and complacency.
I really don't have time to reframe my worldview to be based on something other than polling.
Some of us are busy, Baratunde.
Stop believing the polls. I got my own internal polls, and they show that Trump is ahead in every state. My heart is the exact density and shape of bowling ball, and my liver is coagulated horsey sauce. Okay?
Now, President Trump is in Florida campaigning frustrated. As President of the United States, he's just a powerless cog in the machine, struggling to have his voice heard.
Joe Biden is a corrupt politician that the fake news will not write about. They won't write the story. They won't write it, and big tech won't write it.
Not only will the media not let the stories get out, but they won't even let them even happen in real life in the first place.
It's always interesting to see someone with a lot of privilege and power complain as if they have none of those things. This president has a massive social media following and has never hesitated to promote misinformation, disinformation, and outright falsehoods on those platforms with no one stopping him whatsoever.
I kind of feel for the president here. I don't see why this Hunter Biden corruption story isn't going viral. It's got it all. It's got the confusing premise, the Russian influence B plot. A guy named Tony Bobolinsky looks like his suit's trying to strangle him.
Right. Hey, I'll tell you why this stone cold thriller isn't catching on. Americans are such spoiled millennials, self-absorbed by the deadly plague. Get your head out of your phones, saying goodbye to your grandparents, and get your head into your phone, reading up on Ukrainian government petroleum relations.
I'm sorry, but it is such a simp look to be complaining about not going viral. Like, just be yourself online and you'll find your people. Do you think I gained 800 followers on my dogs drinking celery juice Finsta by complaining?
I certainly don't. Now, Democrats and Republicans held a congressional hearing with Facebook, Google, and Twitter executives on Wednesday, presumably to ask what it's like to have actual power.
Here's Texas Senator and adult who always looks freshly birthed, Ted Cruz, attacking Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey.
Does Twitter have the ability to influence elections?
No.
If you don't think you have the power to influence elections, why do you block anything? Mr. Dorsey, who the hell elected you and put you in charge of what the media are allowed to report and what the American people are allowed to hear?
That's right. If Jack Dorsey was policing Twitter correctly, Ted Cruz would be able to like as much porn as he wants on there without anyone noticing.
Baratunde, which rich white sociopath that wields massive unchecked power over society do we trust here? The one exploiting this issue for political gain or the one exploiting it for financial gain?
I think what's troubling here is the Republicans and the Democrats in the Senate are on the right path. The challenge is that the GOP in particular, I don't think is operating in good faith.
Well, come on. Social media doesn't influence your vote. I came to my own conclusion that Hillary Clinton was molesting kids in Wayfair furniture like anyone would.
Vice President Biden was also in Florida, but picked a location not downwind of Trump's inevitably massive COVID spread.
Millions of people out there are out of work, on the edge, can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and Donald Trump has given up. Donald Trump has waved the white flag, abandoned our families, and surrendered to the virus.
That actually is a good thing. I'm pretty sure the virus will be a better leader than Donald Trump.
Biden may have popped up in Tampa like Punxsutawney Phil on Groundhog's Day, but it's still not enough to convince me he's on the top of the ticket. If you read between the lines, this has Billy Johnson written all over it. For those who don't know, Billy travels the country by pump trolley, brushes his teeth with a pine tree, and once ripped a rhino's head clean off.
He put it back.